I'm the kind of person who, if there's a raffle, I enter because it's funny. And I never win, but I just did. Then I got a phone call saying, you did win a raffle and you won some flowers, which made perfect sense, and a free flight at the Middlebury Airport. When we were in our 30s, we had thought about learning how to fly, but we actually went back to school to study instead. I went to the airport. This guy, his name is Byron, and he's like 6'2", and he's got this mustache. I give him my little certificate for a free flight. We get in the plane. He shows me the seatbelt, and I'm in the pilot side, which is the left seat, and I didn't know that. And we're on the runway, and I am really nervous now. And he says, you're flying. You're taking off. And I'm like, what? And he says, yeah, you just hold on. So I'm holding on to the yoke, and I'm what's called white knuckling it. I'm squeezing this sucker like I am gonna die. And then we're going down the runway, and all of a sudden we are not on the runway, and out of my mouth comes, oh shit! And my legs are just going up and down, and then we're going up, and he goes, where do you want to go? Because he's really got this energy, and he's so excited for me. He says, let's go to Fort Ticonderoga, which is across Lake Champlain. And I said, okay. I learned something really quickly that day, is that when you are in a turn and you move your head very quickly to look outside, you immediately have vertigo. And so I look down, and I am then feeling like I'm going to be sick. And we do a turn, a complete circle around the fort, and he's all excited because look at the star shape of the fort and Ticonderoga. That was so amazing. And I'm thinking, I think I might throw up. And then he decides to turn and do a steep turn around the mountain. And I'm saying, okay, when you're sick like this, you should have the horizon in sight, because I've had this problem on boats. And I'm looking, and as he's doing this turn, I don't know where the horizon is. And I'm going, I'm okay. I'm chewing the gum. I'm okay. I don't care what he's doing with the plane. And then I'm like, I'm not okay. And that was another lesson I learned about physics, is that the airplane has less pressure inside than the outside. So that whatever goes outside is pushed back inside. So I have vomit, mine, coming all over me. It never made it outside the plane. And I'm wearing a white shirt. And I'm like smelling bad. I'm like sitting up straighter. I'm trying to look like I have any amount of like respect. And I say in a calm voice, I think we can go back now. And the next day, I'm driving to work up in Burlington, and I'm thinking, how do I write this man a thank you note? And then also say, I will never, ever get in an airplane again. And as I'm puzzling through this, I get to work, and BJ calls, and he says, you got this call from this guy, Brian or Byron. He says he's from the airport, and he's willing to give you another free flight. He feels really bad. It took me 3 months to get my body back in the plane. Byron really liked looking at the ground. He liked looking at the fort or what was in the lake or stuff like that. And I thought that that was okay, but there was one point when we were flying, and it was a very gentle flight. I mean, everything about it was gentle, which surprised me. There was this cloud. It was a very thin gossamer cumulus cloud. And as we were flying by it, I realized that it was moving too. And it was also changing shape. You could see how what was condensing would dissipate, but then other parts would condense. And honestly, all of a sudden I felt like I was dancing. We were dancing. The plane was one partner and the cloud was the other. And it was so magical. And for me, it wasn't looking down, it was just being with the clouds. Or if I see a bird, it would be other things up in the air. But that cloud really changed it. It was so magical that we got down on the ground and I looked at him and I said, I'll be back next year to start learning how to fly.